Okay, today we have a very packed session, and I think it's going to be very valuable for you. I'm going to walk you through step by step how to build the digital sales channel and how to make it one of your revenue pillars in the company, and to make it generate leads and sales in a predictable way. So we're going to cover the entire story that we usually replicate with our customers, and hopefully you'll get a lot of new knowledge out of it. I would like to ask you if you have any questions during the webinar, please write them in the comment section, and we'll have a dedicated Q&A session at the end where I can answer everything that you are still interested in. Okay, so let's start. Today, I will walk you through a short case study of one of our customers, and we'll look into the details of how they were able to double their sales with a configurator sales channel. And I will try to explain the five key concepts so you can also try to replicate their success. And those five key concepts are, first of all, how to make advertising work in your favor, how to attract leads who are serious about buying, how do you impress them then and make them excited to buy, how to streamline the sales process afterwards, and how to eliminate majority of low value added sales administration tasks and boost your team's earning potential. So what we typically hear when we talk to business owners, especially in the home and garden sector, and this particular use case is for the garage door business. So the founder of the company and the CEO told us that their main goal was to double their sales and try to keep the team and the budget as is. So don't increase overhead costs. They had constant cash flow issues, especially with the material crisis in the past few years. They needed more leads, but they would like to focus on good ones because it really cost them too much to send the crew out to do site service for every inquiry that they receive. And in terms of sales results, so majority of people that they quoted, they didn't buy. And I think that based on our experience, that is true for the entire vertical. And what is also interesting that 50% never even got back to them. So marketing was working, it brought a lot of leads, but they were spending too much time to sort them out. So try to find the needle in the haystack. And one important point for the business was when they actually went out on a site survey, they usually seal the deal. So once they establish the human contact, they have a high chance of closing this deal. Competition is fierce, especially with big stores dumping prices, and it's hard for a small business to survive, let as well grow their sales. So one of their challenges is to stand out more, and I think that's a challenge for all the small businesses out there. So when we were talking, the options they were considering were, so first of all, double their marketing. The statistics was, showing progress there. So it made a lot of sense to just increase the marketing budget and try to make it work, and also hire more people to process this demand, which is very effective if you have sufficient cash to cover the increasing marketing spend and salaries. But it's also very risky and expensive. The second option they were considering was telemarketing and telesales agencies, which is also a good option if you have effective process and scripts already prepared and working, because they sure won't figure that out for you. So you need to do a lot of preparation and have a process you can immediately scale, and that's where telemarketing and telesales agency come into play. And the third option was to introduce the configurator sales channel and automate their sales process as much as possible, bringing the sales reps or the human touch in where it was absolutely necessary to help the deal move forward. So this is a very good strategy for streamlining sales and just keep existing process, keep the headcount the same, and also optimize your marketing and keep the budgets the same. So it's basically a very good process optimization. So they choose the sales automation and configurator sales channel. And the results in the first 19 days of running it were really astonishing. So they got 3 times more qualified sales lead. Their close rate went from 4 out of 100 quotes or 100 leads to 9 out of 100, which is almost a 100% increase. And it was 4 times cheaper to get new leads, and sales were up like around 50%. They also eliminated all manual quotes and reduced the number of pricing and configuration errors almost down to zero. A short testimonial from the customer, just to prove that the results were actually real. Um, Maybe a short introduction from my side. So my name is Leon. I'm the co-founder and CEO at SaleSqueze, and SaleSqueze is a visual configure price quote system with a very user-friendly interface, quick setup, and it allows companies to create digital sales solutions or digital sales experiences without any coding. We specialize in complex product sales. We allow you to create beautiful configurators without coding. We make selling complex products very simple. It's very easy to set up and use. You can start, using it in the next 14 or 30 days. It streamlines the sales process and the customer experience, and it enables customer self-service. But enough about us. Let's jump into the um, actual solution. So how we got Simon to this result? So the first and the most important concept is we helped them do a transformation of their entire digital sales channel. Not something innovative or revolutionary, but just look at everything they were doing and make it work. So in this webinar today, we're going to be looking at how a configurator sales channel benefits your marketing, sales, and how it benefits your customers and your business. So it usually brings awesome experience for the customer and also for your employees. It's totally self-service, it's visual, and you don't need to do any phone calls, any emailing. Everything is done automatically through digital. It's fully automated, so you can automate it up to the purchase, but in most cases, companies decide to automate the process up to the quotation. So whenever a customer creates a configuration, system automatically prepares a quotation and it is sent out to the customer, so we can serve them really fast. It's a huge efficiency increase in the sales team because nobody has to deal with quote preparation and sales follow-up anymore. The platform does that automatically, and it provides a lot easier expansion to other regions, other products, other market. Some of our customers are even selling in this way globally. And it allows you to build a steady stream of quality, ready to buy leads that go directly into your sales process. So I promised you the 5 key concepts to replicate Simon's success, and I will walk you through each and every one of them step by step. So first, we're going to dive into advertising, and I'm going to show you, what the majority of the market is doing. So all of your competitors and what you can do differently to stand out and start pulling in really quality traffic for a lot lower prices or a lot lower cost, because of the presentation that you are doing in the ads. The next one is I'm gonna explain briefly what you should or you could do on your product pages so they really hook customers and guide them forward to the next step in the sales process. And then we're gonna talk about visual configurators and how they help you get 10 times more quality leads. The fourth step is instant quotes and automated follow-up. So in today's world, customers want a quote or a price for the product they are looking to buy immediately. And this concept alone increases sales quite a lot. And the last part, how to automatically sort good leads from the bad ones, so you don't have to, do that manually and through countless follow-ups and phone calls. So let's dive in. The critical components of the channel are ads, landing pages for product presentations, the configurator, and the instant quotes and lead qualification. So, what's wrong with the advertising today? So, if you start exploring the advertising space, you will see that for most brands, ads are the number one source of leads for, especially for the home and garden products. So a lot of people are now spending time online, and placing ads where people are is one of the most obvious choices to generate new business. But sadly to see, most advertising is underperforming. And I can prove that with the next slide I'm going to show you. All brands struggle with effective advertising because most rely on digital agencies or freelancers doing advertising for them, which is good because they are skilled in advertising, but sadly, most of them are not skilled in market specific or especially product specific. So as a result, ads become really generic and indistinguishable. And to prove my point here, I just Googled around, for example, for Leeds garage doors, and the top four ads, which are paying quite a lot of money to be in the top four positions, look something like this. So 99% of the content of the ad is about the company. So they are number one, they're the best, they're the most quality one, they are offering free service, free prices, free quotes, which is all expected and obvious for the buyer, but still they have a need to communicate this. But if you look closely, most of the ads look and read the same, which brings us to a problem that this creates a very poor differentiation. So it's very hard for brands to stand out with this kind of advertising, and it increases cost per lead because all the ads are the same. The customer usually clicks all of them, and yeah, that's costing you a lot of money. So what you can do to change this? It's very simple. It's basically you're going back to the basics. And if you think about it a little bit, the ad's job is to get the customer to click. So not to sell the product, not to establish trust, not to start the sales process, but just get them to the next step, which is your product landing page. And in order to do that, you need to give them an offer they can't refuse, which is often referred to as a Godfather offer. And if you offer them something they can't refuse, what happens is a little bit of magic. So your price per click goes down, your cost per lead goes down, your advertising suddenly becomes 10 times more effective, and you start attracting the people that are actually there to buy. So it's a very common sense game in the end. And I'm going to show you how an ad would look like if we would just rewrite it a little bit. So I took the liberty and clicked one of those ads to land on the company's website. And what I saw there was actually a very good product offering. So they failed to communicate that in the ad, but they did a great job of communicating that on their website. So, which again emphasizes the problem that marketing agencies do advertising. They don't care about the product offering. They don't know why the offering is like that because their core business is digital. So for this specific company, I rewrited the product ad to make it a little bit more appealing, and it turned it into a Godfather offer. So one of the distinguished or one of the differentiators here is that no competitor does this. So nobody communicates their product offering. They all communicate their just the product and their company. And if we analyze what I did with this ad is, so first of all, when a customer sees it, it of course sees it's local. So in this case, Leeds garage doors. The next one is a claim. So a get keyword in the advertising is actually a call to action. So they know instantly that they get a price without talking to sales, which is another benefit in today's digital world. And they offer financing. So I have a 0% interest rate for 24 months financing. So, okay, that's a product offering that's really standing out and nobody else is communicating that. And next, if you look at the description of the ad, so it's a turnkey supply and fit in 2 weeks. So this means fast delivery and installation, and they offer a 7-year warranty. So this, in the customer's mind, means that the doors must be quality made if the company is offering a 7-year warranty. So lastly, the repeated call to action. So get an instant price with our door designer. So this company in particular already has a door designer on their website. It looks pretty decent, works very nice. And what this does, what this message brings to the customer, it, triggers great. So I can play around with options. I can see the price. I don't have to talk to anyone to get to this knowledge. So I can do that in the comfort of my home. And that's a really powerful moment in advertising. So you are letting them know that you can, you have all um, you have the product that they are looking at. You give them a quick overview of the offering, and you give them the ability to know all there is to know about this product, play with it, configure it how they want it, without ever talking to sales. So this is what powers the digital world. So this now became a 10x ad. And if you try something like this, I'm very sure that you're going to see a huge increases in click-through rates and a huge drop of costs. So if we do a before and after, so this is an ad that was before I rewrote it, so very poorly written, and doesn't stand out from the competitors on the market versus this one, which is now a Godfather offer ad that is promoting the offering, and it's very tempting to click on it. Okay, so this is what you can do in advertising. So let's talk about product pages. And there's quite a lot of product pages, and most of your competitors, run advertising and just drive the customer to the homepage where they can see all the offering that this company has available. But what is a different strategy? You should, do targeted advertising campaigns. So for the garage door example, you have people searching for sectional doors, you have people searching for roller doors. And a good practice is, or best practice here, is to create a landing page with detailed information about the product. So in order to do that efficiently, you need to figure out or find a layout that's working very well for other industries or for similar industries that you know of. And we already prepared a template that works very well for our customers, and you will have a chance to get it at the end. But yeah, keep the words straightforward, make it look well designed, sharp, and easy to the eyes, make it load fast, so that people have a good overall experience. And what is a good practice also to remove all the navigational elements that can, navigate the customer away from this product page. So the whole purpose of the product page is to inform the customers about the product and to take them to the next step. So in your current scenarios, the next step probably is an inquiry form, but in the point number 3, I will show you how to, introduce the configurator into this picture and what it brings to the business. So you should measure the performance of the landing page, and it should convert at least 20 to 40% of visitors. So 100% is never good, because the more specific you get on the landing page with the copy and the offering, the more it will filter out people that are not fit to buy from your business. So this, saves quite a lot of cost and work down in the sales funnel if you get only the right customers to convert. A little tip here. One of the most important point in the entire landing page is the call to action. So what you can remember from the ad section that we said, okay, the get keyword is the call to action in the ad. And if you marry that with your product offering, it's gonna create a huge conversion event from advertising to the product landing page. It's the similar concept here. So in order to move them forward, they came, to inform themselves and to get information. So if they want more information, you can offer another call to action. And here are some call to actions that we like to use with our customers, and majority of them perform really well. But it is, good to test out to see which one pulls in the most customers. So, for example, a very powerful call to action is get a price or get an instant quote. So this tells your website visitor or potential customer that they can get an instant price for the product they were just reading about on the landing page, which is a very powerful moment, and it's very hard to refuse. But it also filters out all the window shoppers that are not yet ready to buy the product. They are just exploring, or they're in the process of learning of what they actually need. So this acts as a filter, and it's a very strong conversion point to the next step. So, like I mentioned, at the end of the webinar, I will offer you so you will all get a chance to get all of our bonus materials. So for all the 5 points that we are presenting today, all the 5 key concepts, we have a free guide that's available, which explains every key concept in great detail. So we have a landing page template that works very well for products in the home and garden section, home and garden market, and we will share that with you at the end of the webinar. Okay, so the next key concept is use visual configurators to get 10 times more quality leads. So majority of companies use inquiry forms to convert their visitors into leads. That's okay, but they don't work very well. So they only convert about 0.5% of visitors to leads. So that's an average number. We see some companies go up to 4%, but that's rare. And why they are convert very low is because the next step is usually a sales email or a sales call. So nobody wants to submit their information if they're not absolutely sure they want to talk to somebody afterwards. So this is, not a concept that works well in digital. Another thing is that, customers are not exactly sure why they are reaching out or what they are buying. So they know they're buying a garage door, but they don't have any visualization of how they would like this door to look and function, and what kind of accessories do they need. So it's very hard and frightening to explain all that to a sales guy on the other end of the line. And it also requires an extensive sales effort to figure out what the customers actually want, so you can eventually sell. So if somebody submits an inquiry with a name, email, and a short message, it's on the sales guy to figure out what they want, what their situation, what they're buying. And in order to get them a price, or so a price quote or an estimate at the end, there's a lot of activities that need to happen, and usually takes days or even weeks to get to that information so you can send them out a price. So a lot of sweat, blood, and tears is put into making top-notch products and selling them. So shouldn't your sales process be just as impressive? And I think it should be. So visual configurators bring this experience into your sales process. So our average conversion starts at around 10%. So 10% of visitors turn into leads, which is 20 times better than the average inquiry form. And this is the first part where configurators really change the entire digital sales process and make it a lot more powerful and a lot more effective. The configurator usually offers a fantastic buying experience. Customers can go through all the options of the product, and whenever they click something, they can get an updated visual of the product. They see exactly how the product will look like, and they also, in some cases, see how their selections influence pricing. If you, as a company, decide to show the pricing. So it actually gives the power to the buyer and not to the sales team. So the buyer can do majority of things by themselves, and your sales team is there just to assist them and to consult them and to guide them through the process. So this is a hugely powerful moment in digital, and that's why sites like Amazon.com, eBay have a huge traction because buyers can do everything by themselves. It also automates quoting, and it can also automate ordering to boost sales productivity. And for most customers, it's very important to get an instant price. So specifically for garage door businesses, but also the entire home and garden sector, SaleSqueze is currently being used globally. So we have installations on most continents. So it's a proven solution and it works on any market. And a lot of times when we talk to customers, they have an opinion that configurators are super costly and take a lot of time to build and to make them work, but that's not the case with SalesQuiz. SalesQuiz is actually a platform where you can create these experiences, without any programming, without any coding, and it can be done internally. So you don't need any outsourced help. You don't need to hire somebody to do services. You can build everything by yourself, and also, add 2D and 3D visuals to make the experience really good for your buyers and for your sales team. And once you build this configuration experiences, there's quite a lot of scenarios that you can cover with them. But usually there's three different scenarios that companies decide to use configurations in. So first is lead generation, where you just have a configurator placed on your website together with the lead form that collects the configuration plus the customer information and uses that to prepare a draft quotation. The next scenario is quote automation, where you actually, give the platform the ability or the superpower to, take these draft quotations and automate quote preparation. So the platform automatically prepares the pricing, all the terms, and it sends an informational quote to the customer automatically. So you don't have to do that in sales. And the last part is the B2B customer or B2B dealer or B2B slash trade partner scenario, where you can use this configuration experience as if you are a manufacturer and work with trade partners, so they can create quotations and they can create product orders, and you kind of automate the entire sales process. Um, I'm running a YouTube video channel where I show you how easy it is to build product configurators. And in the presentation that we're going to share with you at the end, you will have links to all these videos, so you can check how easy it is to really work with the sales platform, with the Salesforce platform, and how you can start using it, very fast. Okay, so another pro tip I have here, I'm gonna show you the impact the product configurators have on your business. So they usually completely change the entire game. And for example, how the company that I was explaining, so how Simon reached his results very fast while keeping the budgets the same, is by introducing configurator into the picture. So this was roughly the how the entire sales funnel looked like. So they were spending like 5,000 euros in advertising per month. They have a website that had a 2% conversion rate, so it's a little bit above the average of 0.5% that inquiry forms are getting. And they were generating around 330 leads per month, closing 31 orders. And they did like 250 surveys to get those orders. So you can imagine the sales process was quite, cost heavy. So what changed when we introduced the configurator? So first of all, the average conversion from the product side to the lead increased to 8% immediately. So this is 4 times increase, and they were able to generate 1,300 leads with the same marketing budget. So that's the first power moment where the configurator really, improved the business. The second one, the platform made sure that all the leads received a informative estimate or price quotation. So there's no manual work involved here. So they were able to serve all the leads very, very fast, basically in real time. So pricing, quotation, everything. And because of the filtering that was implemented inside the configurator and lead qualification, they were able to reduce the number of, the percentage of surveys they were doing, or surveys from 85% to 35%, which is also a huge cost saver and allows them to focus only on high quality leads. And out of this 475 site surveys they did, they closed 71 orders. So that's a 100% increase in sales, which is a very good outcome for a short period of time. Okay, so the fourth key concept that we're gonna talk about today is instant quotes and auto follow-up. So whenever somebody submits an inquiry, they want to get a price immediately. So that's the reason why they are submitting the inquiry, because they would like to know if your product is, fits their budget and fits their use case. So they don't like waiting days to hear from you. They don't care how busy you are. They would just like to get what they came from and they want it immediately. So if you have a system in place that can, capture an accurate configuration and respond with an instant quotation, you are already better than 99% of your competitors. So if you also marry that with a top-notch buying experience, so where customer controls everything in terms of the final product configuration, the customer is gonna love that also. So what this allows you to do is to focus your sales team on, actually helping the customer and closing the deal. So guiding them through the selections, or maybe do some corrections if they misconfigured something because they didn't understand it. But you finally have time to really focus on the customer and make that human touch count in sales. And this focus alone usually increases conversion rates. So before that, sales reps had a mixed job of, you know, doing like quote preparation 2 or 3 times per week, and then, engaging with customers 2 or 3 times per week. And now their entire focus is on customers, and that's going to influence your bottom line significantly. And you can also have automated follow-ups to try to move customers ahead in the sales process. So there's a good practice to send the quotation to the customer in a digital form, where they have the option to return back to the configuration, change some parameters, see how that influences pricing, and find the price performance product they are looking for, and then also give them an opportunity to confirm the quotation online. So you don't have to deal with that, and you only help them move forward in the process. Okay, so the last step is very important. So I'm gonna talk about how you can sort the good leads from the bad ones. So in order to do that, majority of companies naturally use some sort of lead qualification process. So what is a powerful moment when you go digital is you can automate this lead qualification and, put some sort of information checks or questions inside the entire process flow that we were describing above. So you can prepare, or if you already have prepared, you can systematize your lead qualification questions. You can then develop a scoring system to just score the customer's answers that you gather through the process, and you can then count. You can then sum up the score and see which leads are more qualified than others, and you can then segment this audience to make it you know follow up on the high intent leads by your sales rep, and put some sort of warm up or nurturing for all the rest to try to bring them into the high intent score. So here's an example of lead qualification questions for a garage door company. So it's a very simple questionnaire, and you can, embed some of these questions into the configurator itself. You can add some of these questions into the email follow-ups. When you can add some of these questions also to the quotation document. So, for example, when are you planning to install new garage door? It has three options. So, as soon as possible within the next 3 months, or just gathering ideas. So, this way, the customers can automatically profile themselves, and you can see the urgency and the timeline in the buying process. So if somebody desperately needs a new door because, I don't know, he hit the old one with a car, and now he's afraid that somebody's gonna empty their garage, they need it as soon as possible. So it makes a lot of sense to follow up on that lead immediately, and et cetera, et cetera. What is the good follow-up sequence for the high intent leads? So first of all, we send them a thank you email after they receive a quotation. So thanking them for you know placing an inquiry, asking them about the quotation, and then also sending a link where they can book a slot for a on-site survey. If that email doesn't get the desired results, so a response or a booked survey, you can explain how the process usually works, how they can get to their desired new garage door, what's the process to take, what are the next steps, and again, offer a book a survey link. And then step three, your sales team can do a phone call where they try to book a survey. And if they don't get through, there's another email that gets sent out, which is another call to action. Please book a survey. And the final step, you try one more phone call. And if this time you don't get through, then this lead is marked as not promising or not a good lead, and you can stop the follow-up or do a nurture campaign there. We also prepared a free guide on how to automatically identify ready-to-buy leads, which has a lot of tactics and very simple questions and answers you can use to systematize lead qualification. It works if you automate it. It works if you just use it as a playbook in your existing sales process. So we will share at the end access to all these documents, so you will be able to do some changes in your process immediately. Okay, now the final step, we will look at how the entire digital funnel is working. So for this garage door example, we have the marketing campaigns that are generating traffic along with your SEO efforts if you're doing SEO. But the important part is, so we are generating traffic that comes to our product landing page or website, and on that website, we have the access to a visual configurator, which immediately after the configuration prepares a price quote and sends it out to the customer. So then we have two scenarios. So the customer can confirm the quotation online. If that happens, we process this as an order. If that doesn't happen, we go into a follow-up sequence, which is a mix of emails and phone calls to get to that order event. And that's a very simple process to follow. It has a bit specifically, a few specifics in the marketing part, so the advertising part. So one of the important things is conversion tracking. So basically um, track who are the customers that are converting, which channel was responsible for bringing these customers, and you feed this information back to the advertising network, enabling the network to optimize the advertising. So what you are saying to the network is basically, this is the lead that converted, and bring me more of those. That's the really common sense logic. And you use this, event throughout the funnel to build different kind of audiences you can advertise to, and then do targeting and retargeting campaign to get laser specific on what kind of users are your best customers. How does that work? So, like I said in the five key concepts above, so first of all, very good advertising. The second part is very good landing page that engages customers and passes them through to a configurator where they can get a detailed visual of what they're buying, and the pricing and the quote. And for example, I have here a customer demand. So how customer demand looks like if you do a Google Trend search for garage door, it's a pretty constant demand. It's growing a bit, and that means it's a stable market without, with low seasonality and a lot of potential. And this is the way how you capture that demand. So if you look at the first steps of the channel, so advertising, we like to segment visitors into three different buckets. So everybody that clicks through the advertising gets put into bucket one. So they visited the page, but if they don't do any action, they stay in bucket one, where we retarget them and try to move them to the next step. So the next step is they visit the configurator. So this is bucket two, and everyone that comes up to this step is considered a bucket two visitor. And if they visit the configurator but don't create a configuration, or don't submit the get a quote form, we keep them in the bucket two and then retarget them to try to move them forward in the sales process. So what is important, that every time you have a specific audience that you know of, so for example, everybody that visited the sectional doors landing page, the advertising becomes a lot cheaper because the audience is a lot smaller, and it's a lot cheaper to advertise to small audiences than it is to general audiences. So the last part is the bucket three. This is everyone that received a quotation. So they created a configuration, they submitted their information and received the quotation, and this is the audience that you are after. So this is who you want more of, and you can feed that information back to the advertising network to actually instruct the network what type of visitors are your best fit customers. And here is how this looks like when we add actual sales numbers to it. So you can see it follows the pattern a little bit, but then starts to increase when we nail the advertising part, the landing page part, and the configurator part, and connect it into the configurator sales channel. And what is good about it, this concept works, provenly works for any home and garden product. And it also works outside of the home and garden vertical in many different vertical where configurable products are sold. And we've tested it out with pergolas, canopies, carports, garage door, garden rooms, mobile houses, swimming pools. There's outdoor kitchens, furniture. There's a lot of different products that you know kind of work with this concept. If your product is not listed there, here's a short checklist to help you assess if it's fit So if this kind of sales is fit for your product, so if it's complex, if it's customizable, then it's definitely a check. If your leads are pricey and or just not so great, so if you have a lot of window shoppers, then you should definitely, consider adding a configurator. If you're handling quotes and orders the old school way, so the manual process over email and phone, if you have many, errors in quotes and pricing or, product business logic, if customers have to wait weeks to get a quote from you or even days, and if they're buying blind, and it's a good strategy if your product is over 500 euros in price. So it gives you enough margin to play around and to really scale this kind of solution. So we've come to the end of the webinar, and what I would like to offer now is so we are doing a series of free strategy sessions, and we have 5 slots available for free consulting every month. And if you want, link will be placed in the comment section where you can apply for this strategy session. And what we usually cover is we do the digital funnel analysis. So we take your current numbers and we try to figure out where are some of low-hanging fruits that you can fix immediately to make it, a lot more profitable. And then we also discuss about how a visual configurator would work for your specific use case and how it would fit into your digital strategy. And you also get access to our entire learning hub, so we have a lot of guides, videos, and tactics available there. This is a closed section that's usually only accessible to our existing customers, but you get access to it for free. And you will have a one-on-one strategy call with me directly. So we can go together through your entire process and figure out how to make it, 10 times more effective. So there's just a segment of tools that are available there. And if you book a strategy session with me, you will get access to all of those. So now it's time for some questions. So if you have any, please let me know. So the first question, do you also help with advertising and landing pages? No, we don't do that, but we offer consulting on that. So you should still hire somebody to help you do that. But what I, usually try to emphasize a lot is companies should, own their messaging. So you cannot outsource messaging, you can only outsource execution. So it's a very good practice to keep, messaging and content in-house and just hire an agency to, scale it for you. Okay. Yeah, so thanks for highlighting this. So it's a very good statement. Super worth highlighting that the configurator with transparent, ungated pricing offers immense value against competition in the market. That's true also for the content. So, people go online to, first of all, seek knowledge, because they're trying to figure out what they actually want. Once they figure this out, they would like to know more about it. And at the final step, once they know more about it, they would like to also buy. So ungated content and ungated, technical specifications, ungated catalogs make a lot of sense because people can then, learn about products in general. But if they learn that and also seeing your brand name on the materials, this is a very powerful moment for brand trust, and you become the default when they decide to buy. Is your solution also suitable for B2B sales? We have many dealers and they have different price terms for garage doors. Yes, so we have a lot of use cases. So we work a lot with B2B manufacturers. that have global sales operations, work with distributors, work with dealers. So it's usually a network of buyers that buy products, and the platform module for B2B dealer sales is specifically designed to cover exactly this scenario. So you have different price terms, you have different transportation terms, you have different payment terms, and you also, for some products, have different regulatory terms. So all of that is handled in our B2B section. And if you would like to know more about that, uh, feel free to schedule a call with me, and I can walk you through some scenarios. So one of our largest customers has around 1,000 dealers all around the world, and they all use the platform to do quotations and orders. Regarding visualization, do we need to provide it, or can you also prepare it for us? So yeah, in general terms, we usually help you with some sort of material preparation, but we also have a network of people that help us with visualization. So we usually provide this as a service, and some of our well, cooperants do that for us. So we usually go with 2D or 3D visualization, and you still have to provide some sort of knowledge, business logic, and pictures and business rules, but we can take care of the visualization as a service. If you wish to offer this as a third-party setup where the end users of the configurator are your resellers, clients, and need to see pricing of a specific dealer, but you're the one offering the tool, would it work? Yes. So the scenario was described before. Our, platform is basically made for manufacturing. So the core use case is usually somebody configures the product, we are able to price it. Doesn't matter what the scenario is, B2C or B2B. But at the end, we still need to be able to provide the data and feed it into the ERP system so that also the production can be automated. So nobody has to do that by hand. So we kind of cover majority of B2B scenarios that we've encountered to date. Um, we have like 25 customers using this specifically for a global B2B sales. Who builds the configurator? Can it be done in-house? Yes, exactly. So the platform is self-service. When you decide to start cooperating with us, the platform comes with a subscription, and we do the onboarding where we teach you how to do it, and we also provide resources. But the process of building the configurator is very simple. So you can check some of the videos. It's actually being simplified down to a level of building a PowerPoint. So that's one of our visions, to make it so simple that anybody can build a configurator with only basic sales and product knowledge. Does the configurator enable to access complex B2B PDF documents and specifications? Yes. So you can access that, and the configurator also has the possibility to generate documents. So the platform behind it has a document generation engine where you can, generate PDF quotations, you can generate contracts, you can generate specifications, product descriptions, anything that comes to comes with such complex products. Does the configurator allow for augmented reality door rendering? We'd like customers or engineers to visualize the garage door by holding up their phone and potentially be able to digitally measure the door opening. So we do have an implementation of augmented reality, but in a format so that the customer uploads their own picture and they can place the door on that picture. For augmented reality, you would need to develop a 3D model that's parametric and display the door in the 3D render and then use that for augmented reality. It can be done. We didn't do this up till now, but it's one of the features of the 3D rendering that is used to display products. Um, if a manufacturer would like to offer this as an add-on solution that they sell to their resellers, does SaleSqueze have a partner program for setup like this? Yes, of course. This is we have two cases like this, and this can be arranged, but we would have to talk about this in person. So it's not a standardized offering, but we do have a partner program that you can be a part of, and we have a set of commission structures and everything prepared for a cooperation like this. Regarding CRM, do you have an API to connect the systems? Yes. So we are working very hard at the moment to develop, plug and play connectors to a lot of CRMs and ERPs. So the CRMs we are already connected with our Pipedrive HubSpot. We are currently in the process of integrating Microsoft Dynamics 365. But we have an API and connector to Zapier, so you can use all the connectors there. And we also have an API to build custom connections if that's a requirement. So we usually integrate with CRMs and ERP systems to, streamline the entire process. Okay. So if there's no more questions, I would really like to thank you, everybody who participated. We will send a video recording of this webinar, and if anybody, would like access to the Learning Hub with all the materials, you can write to me directly at my email, and you can contact me via LinkedIn, or book a free strategy session, and you will be given access to all of these resources for free. So thanks again, and I wish you a nice day and talk to you soon. Bye.